If you don't eat properly, the Hungarians will take you away. There was a time when all of Europe feared the Hungarians. Lightning-fast horsemen who struck without warning, then vanished like the wind. But how did we go from being mere nomadic warriors to building a 1,000-year-old Christian kingdom? The story is filled with blood, betrayal, and the superhuman determination of an exceptional leader. In this video, we follow the incredible journey of the Hungarian people, and by the end you will learn why we celebrate the foundation of the state on August 20th. Join us on a journey that reveals where we came from and who we are. First point, the origins of the Hungarians, a nomadic people. Imagine an endless grassy steppe somewhere far in the east. Our ancestors, during their long migration, lived around the Ural region and across the steppes. We spent our daily lives riding horses, living in yurts, always searching for the best pastures for our animals. This nomadic lifestyle shaped us, teaching us courage and a love of freedom. Even today, many ask, who exactly are the Hungarians? Huns? Finns? Countless legends have circulated about our origins. You may have heard of Attila's Huns as the so-called Proto-Hungarians, or the myth of the miraculous stag. Our language does indeed belong to the Finno-Ugric branch. But throughout our long migrations, we mixed with many cultures and peoples. Don't believe the legends that link us directly to the Huns. That spread because Europe feared us so much that they thought the spirits of Attila's warriors had returned. Just think about it. Nomadic horsemen arriving suddenly from the east into the Carpathian Basin. No wonder Western chroniclers were terrified. But the reality is far more complex and exciting. In the 9th century, our forefathers lived first in Levadia, then in Etelkos. It was here, the 7 Hungarian tribal leaders, led first by Prince Almos and later by his son Arpad, swore a sacred oath, the legendary blood oath. Cutting their arms and letting their blood drip into a vessel, they pledged eternal alliance. This was necessary because growing pressure surrounded them. The Bulgarians attacked from the west, the Pechenegs from the east. The Hungarians had no choice. They had to leave their homeland and move westward. They hoped that beyond the Carpathian Mountains, they would find a new, safe home. Second point, the conquest. We found a homeland. In 895, after the Pecheneg attack, our ancestors arrived in the Carpathian Basin. The journey was not easy, but the land that opened before them made up for everything. Vast pastures, rivers rich in fish, forests. Arpad and his chieftains quickly realized that this land was far better than the one they had left behind. According to legend, the Hungarians sent a beautiful white horse as a gift to a local ruler, asking in return only as much land as the horse could run around. The unsuspecting prince agreed, and the white horse covered half the country. True or not, the tale of the white horse perfectly illustrates the cunning and determination of the Hungarians. Of course, the land had to be defended as well. The newly settled Hungarians faced the Bavarian armies. The decisive battle took place at Bratislava in 907, where the Hungarians defeated a massive army. This victory secured their place in the Carpathian Basin once and for all. But the story did not end here. In fact, it was then that the era truly began for which Europe feared us. This video is sponsored by us. If you are an EU citizen and your girlfriend is from Southeast Asia, we can help you get a Schengen tourist visa for completely free. On lovevisa.eu, you'll find clear guides, proven templates, and all the practical tips we wish we had when going through the process ourselves. Third point, the Scourge of Europe, raids and campaigns. In the decades after the conquest, the Hungarians launched raids from the Carpathian Basin to gather plunder, reaching as far as Spain. Our name became synonymous with lightning-fast, unpredictable attacks. According to chronicles of the time, Western mothers would warn their children, if you don't eat properly, the Hungarians will take you away. This shows the fearsome reputation we earned. But this glorious era ended in 955. At Augsburg, the combined German forces inflicted a crushing defeat on us. That battle marked the end of an age. We realized that the nomadic way of life and raiding were not sustainable. The future of the Hungarian people was at risk. 2 paths lay before us. Disappear like so many wandering tribes before us, or change, integrate into Christian Europe, and establish a strong state. Fortunately, the latter happened, but it could not have been achieved without an extraordinary leader. Fourth point, István and Koppány, the battle for the future. 100 years after the conquest, Grand Prince Géza already saw the future. He knew the Hungarians could only survive if they abandoned the old pagan customs. He raised his son Vike as a Christian, who at baptism received the name Stephen. But Stephen's path was not easy. After Geza's death, a relative, Koppány, claimed the throne for himself, citing pagan tradition. These two men fought not only for power but for the future itself. Koppány stood for preserving the old nomadic way of life, while Stephen fought for joining modern Christian Europe. In 997, near Veszprém, the two armies clashed. With the help of Western knights, Stephen triumphed. This sealed the fate of the Hungarians. The future belonged to the Christian state. Fifth point, King Stephen, the crown and the foundation of the state. Stephen wanted more than to be a tribal chief or a grand prince. He wanted to be a king, recognized by Christian Europe. He knew that if he succeeded in founding a kingdom, he would secure the future of the Hungarian people. That is why he turned to Rome for a crown. On Christmas Day in the year 1000, Pope Sylvester II sent him one. The coronation was more than just a ceremony. With it, the Pope officially acknowledged that the Kingdom of Hungary was an independent Christian state, equal to other European nations. At last, we had arrived. According to belief, the crown endowed Stephen with God's grace, making him not just a ruler, but a king by the grace of God, respected by both Pope and Emperor. The hardest part, however, came after this. Imagine the challenge Stephen faced. He had to lead a pagan, nomadic people into the world of Christian, stable Europe. This task demanded immense effort. Sixth point, order and structure, laws and the church. Stephen immediately established order. He introduced strict laws to curb robbery and murder, compelling people to respect private property and Christian morals. For more effective governance, he divided the country into counties, each headed by an ispan. This county system continues to shape Hungary's administration to this very day. To spread the new faith, he built up the church's organization as well. He founded an archbishopric in Esztergom and 8 bishoprics. Religious life was strictly regulated. He ordered that every 10 villages must build a church and made Sunday Mass attendance compulsory. Despite the resistance of people who clung to their old pagan beliefs, Stephen's firmness bore fruit. Hungary became a recognized and equal Christian kingdom. His reign laid stable foundations. Neighboring great powers such as the Holy Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire acknowledged the new, strong Hungarian state. Most of King Stephen's children died young, so he placed all his hopes in Prince Emmerich, who tragically died in a hunting accident in 1031. The question of succession became uncertain. The closest relative would have been Vasil, but Stephen distrusted his Christian faith, so he designated his brother-in-law's son, Peter Orseolo, as heir. Sources say there was even an assassination attempt against Stephen, linked to Vasul, and as punishment he was blinded and his sons exiled. Finally, Stephen died on August 15, 1038, and was buried in Székesfehérvár, in the basilica he himself had founded. Before his death in 1038, he entrusted the country to the protection of the Virgin Mary, thereby making Hungary the Regnum Marianum, the country of the Blessed Virgin. In recognition of his long and successful reign and his role as the founder of the state, he was canonized in 1083, becoming one of the most important figures of Hungarian history and faith. Seventh point, the legacy of Saint Stephen. Why August 20th? Now you know why this holiday is so important. On August 20th, we not only remember Saint Stephen, our state founding king, but also that moment when wandering raiders became a united European nation. Our struggles, victories, and stories are all part of this shared heritage. But why specifically August 20th? Saint Stephen was canonized on August 20th, 1083. That day became our national holiday of statehood, a day symbolizing beginnings, determination, and survival. Think about it. Not many nations can say they have lived on the same land with their own state for 1,000 years. This is our story, our pride, our home. By the way, did you know that the Hungarian Parliament, the most photographed building in the country, was built to mark the 1000th anniversary of the Hungarian Conquest? If you're curious about the secrets and fascinating stories it holds, make sure to check out this video as well.